It's Ag Week at Utah State University.
Coming up on ATV News.
Think your PC is immune to illness? We'll tell you how to protect your security on the internet and how to see if your identity is already at risk.
Long sleeves are fashionable in September. I'll let you know if they're practical in this week's weather.
On ATV Sports, a trick play that you gotta see to believe, high school football highlights, and the men's basketball team wants you.
All this and more coming up on ATV News.
Welcome to ATV News. I'm Jill Hodson.
And I'm Becky Eisenhower. 2 buildings on campus are set to be finished in fall of 2015, and while not everything has gone as easily as people would have hoped, things are moving along smoothly. It has been over a year since construction began on the Huntsman Hall, and progress has been slow because of tight quarters right next to the current business building. Even with the slow process and close proximity, no students have complained about the ongoing construction. However, summer classes were held in a different building to prevent any chance of distraction for students. The new Aggie Recreation Center that is under construction is designed to enhance the student experience at Utah State by providing more space to work out. Campus Recreation hopes the new facility will make access to workout equipment easier for students. Both buildings were originally scheduled to be done August of 2015, but are now set for completion in October that year.
That seems to be pretty typical with these kind of projects. There's a lot of moving parts, so it's hard to get everything just on time. But everyone's working their best to make sure the building's open for the students and they have the best facility possible.
Check-Its also said the new rec center will have updated equipment, new studios for workout classes, and an indoor climbing wall. Because of all the construction going on in town, all local labor is being used, which forced both projects to look elsewhere in the state and put minor delays on construction. You know, Jill, I've noticed a crane sitting over by the business building. It's up on some wooden beams that look pretty unstable. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I saw it just today actually, and what I've been told is that they take it down for at night so that it's more safe and stable.
Gotcha.
But speaking of safety, let's talk about the internet. What's your password to your email? How about your online bank account? If they're the same, you could be making it easy for hackers. Our Misty Inglet goes live in the Ag Science Computer Lab to tell you how to stay protected. Misty?
Thanks, Jill. The number of cyber attacks has gone up the last few years. Hackers are targeting email servers, businesses, news organizations, anything. One recent example of this is the restaurant chain P.F. Chang's, where thousands of their customers' credit card numbers ended up for sale online. And that's only one example. The attacks just keep coming. Last year, 3,000 companies were hacked. Home Depot lost 40 million credit and debit card numbers over the last 5 months. Gmail and Google Plus lost 5 million usernames and passwords. Internet security experts say the biggest danger comes when you don't use a different password for each site. This happened to USU. They fend off thousands of attacks a day, but when someone broke into Adobe, USU users with the same login for both sites got Utah State hacked.
Because we have a very favorable Adobe licensing at USU, we lost a lot of credentials that were just this situation where someone signed into Adobe with their USU email address and, as it turns out, their USU password.
Besides having a different password for each site, experts also recommend that you change those passwords every 6 months to a year to help protect your information. Back to you, Jill.
Thanks, Misty.
USU has many different exhibits, museums, and theaters located on campus, but now your Amazon.com purchases can help the Museum of Anthropology.
Ever feel like you're wasting money when buying textbooks? There's a way to donate some of that money to a museum located right here on Utah State University campus. The Museum of Anthropology is located on the second floor of Old Main. Its partnership with Amazon started in 2008 and allows students to purchase their books online and donate a percentage to the museum.
And so if you enter Amazon.com through that link on our page, we get some portion of your purchase donated back to the museum.
If you'd like to contribute but aren't big into online shopping, you can still donate the old-fashioned way.
The museum consists of many different exhibits, ranging from the Egyptian afterlife to fibers of inheritance.
The museum offers a lot of prehistoric human exhibits, like they have a lot of skulls of early man. They also have some of the first examples of people, such as the Iceman.
The museum has been expanding, having its peak year for donations in 2010.
And I think we had received several $100s through the Amazon portal in our relationship there.
The money that is brought in for the museum is used towards their supplies.
So we may need some curation supplies, vials, acid-free paper, boxes, that kind of thing.
Anyone should know about anthropology because it is so important to understand ourselves enough as a society so that we can continue to move forward.
The museum is open Tuesday through Friday from 9 to 5 p.m. and the first Saturday of every month from 10 to 2 p.m.
Coming up next,
It's flu season. Here's how you can stay healthy and stay in school with some help from USU.
Get caught buzzed driving, and you could do some hard time.
Craig, knock it off.
Sorry, Mom.
It could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And that could set you back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
have you ever skipped a meal hurrying to class or stayed up late cramming for an exam? Did you announce it to everyone like it was a badge of honor? David Matthew Stewart lets us know why you're probably not as cool as you think.
Cold and flu season are back from their summer holiday, but even with frequent hand washing, a less than stellar sleeping schedule could be setting you up for a sickness that, if left unchecked, could wreck your semester. Or worse.
The assortment of problems that result from that can have lifelong implications.
A quick scan of the Napping Aggies Instagram feed is all it takes to become aware of what Bhutan calls an epidemic. While most students seem aware of the problem, the solution seems to be just out of reach.
I'll try and go to bed early and then I just won't be able to fall asleep is my problem. So I do stay up kind of late, I guess, and that might affect how I feel in the morning.
The insomnia issue is critical. Students don't get enough sleep. The average American needs 8 hours of sleep per night. And I see students that are getting by working a full-time job, taking 18 credits, and don't understand why they're exhausted.
Exhaustion is easy to mistake for depression, but some of the more common things to watch for include an inability to focus, unusually low energy levels, an aching body, or a change in your appetite. If you're feeling run down, head on over to the Student Health and Wellness Center. Even if they just tell you to get more sleep, it'll be easier to follow the advice of a professional. Plus, if you're already paying USU tuition, your visit's going to be free.
Students that are uninsured feel like they can't go anywhere. And so they let problems that could easily be managed in the early stages fester.
Asking for help doesn't make you weak. It makes you smart. Smart enough to take control of your semester, and smart enough to appear on the dean's list instead of Napping Aggies. David Matthew Stewart, ATV News.
The Student Health and Wellness Center offers more than just checkups, and most services are covered by your student fees. Give them a call for more information at 435-797-1010 1660.
The Ebola outbreak in Africa has drastically changed the plans of a few Huntsman business students expecting to study abroad in Ghana this year. The Small Enterprise Education and Development Program, or SEED for short, is an internship program that sends business students to Ghana and Peru each semester. But because of the 2014 Ebola outbreak, the program has been put on hold. The fall semester students were told the program was canceled 6 days before the school year started, and the spring semester interns were notified this week of the cancellation. Even though there have been no confirmed cases of Ebola in Ghana, the university doesn't want to risk it.
There's a board of advisors for the SEED program, and we got together and decided that it was the best interest of us and our students to not send them to Ghana in the fall semester and in spring semester, to make sure that there's no chance of, students catching any type of illness or sickness.
I completely understand it as a precautionary measure. I mean, I'm glad that USU and the Huntsman School looks after its students the way that it does.
Although the program in Ghana has been put on hold, the other half of the program in Peru is still running. The fall student interns arrived the first week of September, and next summer students are still expected to go without a problem.
When we come back, we'll have your Cache Valley weather forecast.
The current temperature is 85 degrees.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. Since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No?
But getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back.
So Brad, it's really hot today still. Is fall ever going to hit, or is it just going to be hot, 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 and then cold all of a sudden?
We'll have to take a look when we get to the 7-day forecast, but things do seem like they will be getting a little bit cooler. We have a couple of storms heading our way the next couple of days. That'll help cool things down for us. Can't see far enough to see how it'll be in the end of beginning of October, but we'll see how things look. But first, let's take a look at how it is this week. Let's take a look at our national radar. As you can see, the country, all over the country, there's something going on almost everywhere. We have in the Midwest here, Kansas, Nebraska, they're really cloudy, little stormy, windy, not a whole lot of precipitation going on there. In Missouri and Illinois, though, they do have a couple of storm clouds, getting a little bit of moisture down there. Florida down in the southeast over there, they're getting a pretty big storm. It's covering up most of the state, getting pretty good rain over there. If we take a look out west, we have a storm that's up in Washington, Oregon, and Northern California. That's actually the storm that'll be heading our way. It'll be coming from the northwest down into Utah. Over the next couple of days, we will get some precipitation. And then also down in the southern part, we have New Mexico and Arizona that are getting some rain. Let's take a closer look at Utah, though, see what things are going to look like there for the next couple of days. Right now, though, we don't have a lot going on. It's pretty calm, little windy, some storms heading out over Tooele County, heading towards Salt Lake. Not a lot to worry about for us up in Logan. A little bit of cloud, a little bit of rain, maybe. But let's take a look at our 7-day forecast where we can see how things are going to be for the next 7 days. Today, really hot day. It was 90 degrees for the high. But tomorrow and Friday, we will be getting some rain. That'll cool things off for us. You can see the high goes from 88 to 75 on Friday. The rain chance for those days is 60% on both days, and it goes at an 80% in the evening. On Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, back to sunny weather. As you can see, the weather does start dropping. It goes from 80 high to 78 high, drops all the way down to 72 high for Monday and 73 for Tuesday. So things do start cooling down a little bit. We'll see if that trend continues in the future, but for now, at least it's not going to have a huge drop on us.
Awesome. So as far as sports go, there's some rain. Are there some games going on?
Yeah, well, soccer is Friday, so if you're going to that game, bring a poncho, a blue poncho, because it is blue out that game. So
Want to wear blue, support the Aggies.
Come prepared. All right, coming up, for the first time ever, an ACC team came to Romney Stadium, but will they ever want to come back? All the highlights next.
Look at me. Hey.
Raymond, look at Mommy.
Maybe the light hurts his eyes.
Maybe she's just not hungry. Maybe he can't hear us. Maybe we're not stimulating him enough. Maybe it's a phase.
Avoiding eye contact is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all living united to ensure the academic success of millions of kids in our communities all the way to graduation day. But that won't happen without you. So take the pledge at unitedway.org. Make a difference in the life of a child. Suit up like your favorite NFL players and become a volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor with United Way.
Luke Ferguson on a fake punt throws and it's intercepted.
Okay, what was that? Let's go back. We're going to freeze it here. This is Arkansas State on 4th down. It's a fake punt play. Take a look at the receiver circled here and watch what he does. The quarterback snaps it. He just grabs his chest and whoop, he goes down. He just stays there. Okay, never mind. We're good. So that's the most bizarre trick play I've ever seen in football. And guess what? USU plays them on Saturday. But this week, Wake Forest came to town to take on Utah State. And the Aggies had some tricks up there, some tricks of their own planned, just not the faking dead kind. The Aggies took the field dressed in white on Saturday for the first whiteout game of the year. White shirts filled up Romney Stadium, but for the students, white shirts weren't enough. The Aggies got things started when player of the game Zach Vigil picked off this pass and took it to the house to tie the score at 7.
Well, I'm happy I caught it for one. Thought I was going to get hawked because I'm not too quick, but nothing but green, and coach put me in the right position, the right time to make a play, and it all came together.
Aggie offense also started to come together, but it would take some trickery as Chucky would toss it backwards to Ronald Butler, who then throws a 44-yard touchdown pass to JoJo Natson.
So it was kind of like it played out perfect, and what a throw. Really nice throw, big time. Players making plays.
And they would continue to make plays on defense as Torrey Green gets the sack here. And offense with this 6-yard touchdown pass to Jefferson Court. Aggie fans cheered for 29 unanswered points going into halftime. The Aggie defense left no questions in the first half. They were all over the field. They held Wake Forest's run offense to negative 23 yards. The questions came in the second half when Chucky Keaton didn't take the field.
It's the same knee, obviously, and banged up, so precautionary reasons, and the docs said he was done for the night, and, you know, that's, here comes Darryl.
And Darryl started off rusty with his first drive ending in an interception. Wake Forest would score 2 more times, both coming through the air, but the Aggie defense started getting to the quarterback and put any hopes of a comeback to rest.
It's kind of contagious, you know. Once you get your first sack out of the way for the year, they kind of just start coming.
That was B.J. Larson. He had 3 of the Aggies' 6 sacks on the day. The defense dominated this one and had 14 of the Aggies' 36 points. USU goes on to win it 36-24. Utah State travels to play Arkansas State on Saturday. All right, the undefeated Royals visited the Mountain Crest Mustangs in a bid to continue their hot start to the season. Roy dominated the first half, which included this bomb from quarterback Tyler Skidmore to Nate Jones for a touchdown, giving the Royals an 18-7 lead at halftime. Things look to continue that way on the first play of the second half as Baby T. Etewati ran this kickoff all the way in for a touchdown, but the Mustangs didn't quit. After this touchdown by Mountain Crest cut the deficit to 3 points, they got the ball back only to mess up on the potential game-tying field goal. The Royals escape with the victory and move on to 4-0 on the season. It wasn't exactly paradise for Hawaii and the volleyball team, but come on, they were still in Hawaii. They went on to win 1 out of the 3 games they played, beating San Francisco, but still put up good matches against number 22 ranked Hawaii and number 25 UCLA. All right, over to soccer. The Aggies traveled to Texas for the weekend. On Friday, they beat Sam Houston State 3-0, but Sunday's match ended in a 1-1 draw against Houston. The Aggies tied it up in the second half, but after double overtime, neither team could beat the Keepers. Both the soccer and the volleyball team are home this week and play in-state rival Utah. All right, it's a little early for basketball, but the Aggie men's team is holding open tryouts for all students. Can you drain the 3? Are you sick of dominating the pickup games with roaring crowd to cheer you on? Are you tired of making layups in a drabby old gym? Well, if you are, you could be playing here soon. On October 1st, the Utah State men's team will be holding open tryouts. The team held open tryouts in 2012 and picked up 1 person for the roster. So you're saying there's a chance. They aren't looking to fill any specific roles. Coaches just want to see what talent is out there.
This just gives us a good understanding of what options we have if we get in a situation, a few injuries or anything can happen in a basketball season. We just like to know where we stand as far as options.
Anybody interested in trying out will need a physical and fill out all the paperwork on the men's basketball website by September 28th.
So what you're saying is you're going to try out?
Hey, maybe. I don't know.
Head on over
I
there.
shouldn't even have to try out because my coach lost my highlight reel after high school, so I didn't even, get picked up by any college. So I should be on that team already.
Sounds like you're a little bitter about this.
A little bit.
When we come back, the Volkswagen car show got revved up by this weekend. See why everyone had to protect themselves from slug bugs.
See why USU has more out-of-state students than ever before and what it means for the future of your university.
Get caught buzz driving, and you could do some hard time.
Craig, knock it off.
Sorry, Mom.
It could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And that could set you back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back. You may have noticed more people on campus this year. That's because USU accepted several hundred more students for the fall than in previous years.
Utah State University has the biggest freshman class the campus has seen in a while, and most of it is filled with out-of-state students from all over the West Coast. With the Latter-day Saint mission age lowering, enrollment decreased, and for USU, that meant more recruiting.
Especially just with my visits that I am doing a lot more out-of-state than I have in the past. But overall, our efforts in the admissions office, we're looking to grow more out-of-state.
The university made changes to help make on-campus housing more appealing and bring in more students. Those changes include needing a key card to get into Mountain and Valley View Tower, and no longer having to pay when doing your laundry.
I think it's great just because you're so close to everything and there's so many people around you. You get like an opportunity to meet a lot of people that you wouldn't have normally met.
USU recruits all over the West Coast, but their main out-of-state students come from Wyoming and Idaho. And when each Aggie is accepted, they receive a packet and a sticker to show off their Aggie pride. In order to bring in more students, USU altered some of their scholarships, like the alumni.
That it only extended to parents, but now it's parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents. I think the campus sells itself. I think Utah State sells itself.
USU's main recruiting method is going out and speaking during school assemblies to try and gain interest in the university.
Alicia Facer, ATV News.
USU will continue both in-state and out-of-state recruitment to try and keep our campus numbers growing.
Your arm would be bruised and bleeding if you were in Riverton Saturday. City Hall Park was full of slug bugs. Not just bugs, but buses and other classic Volkswagens, some as old as your grandparents. Many of them restored and not so restored, came from all over the state. For car owners, loyalty to the Volkswagen name means more than just the car.
When I was a young man, just starting out in life with my children, that was about the only car that I could afford, whereas a Volkswagen. I bought a 1963 just like this one, not the same color, but it was red. And I kind of raised my family. We went trips on it in the car and just had a great time. And it just brings back a lot of memories, good memories.
This specific car show has been running for 5 years. Each year allows for new people to love what the car owners love.
Those cars look pretty cool.
Right? I was really excited to see all the buses and just like the different colors and see what they've done to them.
Did you get to see inside the buses too?
Oh yeah, some of them had campers and everything and the stoves, and I just want one of them just so I can go camping wherever I want.
Seriously, those would be so cushy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us this week for ATV News.
Catch all the latest editions of ATV News at aggietvnews.com.